I've got about an hour before I get out to the bait shop. Got to make a stop there for today's expedition. And I usually kind of use this time to listen to music. So what's it going to be? A little Jimi Hendrix from the old days, some New Day stuff from Devin Townsend, some Opeth, Van Halen, Joe Bonamassa. Take a vote. Well, I just pulled into the bait shop, and it is, I've never seen it this mobbed. Everybody must have looked at the forecast and said 80 degrees, low humidity, not much wind, and it's Sunday. So that's what's going on here. I hope they're not out of mud minnows. All right, the first thing I'm noticing here is that the junk piles outside people's houses are still going strong. And my brother says he's got a pretty big junk pile too. There's a big one. These people are new to the neighborhood. And here's my brother's junk pile. And I'm late. So sue me. In we go. And here's our fishing dog for the day. Hi, Charlie. Yeah, right. Sniff my car.
Go say hello.
Hello, doggy. Oh, wait a minute. You're glad to see me. Well, that's a switch. Before I was just sort of an indifferent thing. Well, hello, gents.
Hello. Wow, you've got pressed jeans.
Nah, these are just factory. Here, I've got to show people here. Look at the edge on that. That's quite something, that edge
That's
there.
Sue. She's a woman.
Yeah. All right, here's the other astonishing thing. You may recall last week they had lifted the thing up a fair amount. And this is a cinder block house. This isn't your stick-built house. It's got a cement footing. They picked the cement footing and the whole cement house up and shoved it up about 20 feet in the air. I think they're safe from whatever's coming. The house is built like a bomb shelter.
Yeah, that,
and you know, you can
be hurt by the flood.
Yeah.
It must have knocked over.
It's unbelievable. So they put a cement footing where the foundation was at one point, foundation being relative term, and then they've got these giant wooden stacks that they lifted it up on, and as you can see, the whole bottom here is a big slab of cement. So we can compare the back door height, which was about where my chin was, and it's about twice as high now from 2 weeks ago when you looked. There's the old footing. They just jacked that up out of the ground. Unbelievable.
Most good people.
I hear a woodpecker or something pounding on the giant live oak that hangs over my brother's house. Well, speaking of that, his roof is covered with froth and junk. We need to get rid of it. So there's been some significant work done on getting the man cave cleaned up. And everybody's all eager to come live here. Is it safe to walk on this paint? Well, look at this. The mud is gone. I don't know whether they painted the floor, but I think they did. Yeah, it smells like fresh paint in here. And look, there's a shelf. They built an entirely new sink. And it looks pretty bulletproof. What do you think, Charlie? Want to live here?
I saw it before it was stained and painted.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It's, instead of smelling like mildew, it smells like fresh paint.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. All right, so we got to check to see if these are suspect mattresses or not. And then we give it the old mildew test here. No, they smell fine. While we're rigging the boat up, Charlie's kind of freaking out a little bit. He's afraid we may leave him behind. We're getting the bait well on the boat cleaned out because we kind of left our last bait in there 2 weeks ago. So that's what I like to say. It smells like corpse now.
There you go.
You feeling better, Charlie? Yeah. Or are those birds getting you all wired up? Got some noisy Florida birds yakking away in the tree back up here. All right, I'm going to release the stern line here. So the plan today, and there's always a plan, is to head over to the power plant. the Crystal River Power Plant, which has a retired nuclear plant in it, and the rest of the time now it's burning nat gas and coal. But that's neither here nor there. There's an outlet canal there, and we've had interesting luck over there before bottom fishing, catching some big hombres. We'll see if they're there today. And the weather is, as usual, perfect. Oh, here comes a big old vulture in front of us here. Oh, come get us, boy. Well, once we got away from the house, it got distinctly cooler, so I'm guessing the water is in the low 70s, if that. So in this wide-angle lens, it's not going to look like it, but there's quite a mob of fishermen out here. They're at sort of casting distance from each other, and they said some guy just said he was catching black drum. Well, we've anchored up out here by No Fish Island, and of course we should call it No Fish Island because it's underwater right now. Tide's coming in, so. And this is where we caught a bunch of trout last time. 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. I got myself a shrimp.
No, Charlie, come.
What are you doing, Charlie?
Stay here.
You doing something bad? Here, have a seat. I mean, sit. No, he's just wandering. As I was saying, I've got myself a shrimp on a little jig, lead-headed jig, and about 2 feet up, there's some floaters.
Stay.
So let's see how this works. This was the magic formula 2 weeks ago. But it won't be now. What's the latest with Luce?
She's hobbling around on 3 legs and a half of the 4th leg. But she can move around and go walk around in the yard. She can jump up on the low bed, but we don't like her to, but she still does it. Just keep her quiet and give her 2 different things, a painkiller and I forget the name of the other drug.
Anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. Some drug for dogs. But at any rate, so she figures out when I'm going somewhere, even if I try to hide it from her. Like this morning, I hadn't really kind of gathered my things. I wasn't showing signs of going fishing or anything, but she was looking at me, and I said, well, Lucy, I am going somewhere, and you're going to have to stay with Mommy. She turned around, slunk into the bedroom, crawled under the office desk, and I left. But then she'll come out later and deal with it as best she can. And she'll be waiting on the lawn for me when I get home.
Yep. Yeah, the captain's bobber has been taking regular trips underwater, which means something is going on. We got our first fish here. Look at this. That was the guy. Here, let's put him real close so it looks like he's ginormous. Now we'll back up and you can see that the dog,
That would make an excellent
the smallest
bait.
dog, actually dwarfs this fish.
That's what's been out there. These are the kind of things we'd caught off the
We'll keep him because
Cape here.
you might want to use that when we get over by the power plant.
Yeah, it'll be bait.
Well, we're heading out in the ocean here, and these guys are heading in from the ocean. Zoom. Woo! So this may look like a flat, featureless body of water, but it's there's.
Hold that Spanish mackerel lure.
All right, hold on. I'm being implored to troll here for Spanish mackerel. But anyway, there's the power plant. We're heading up to a fence that leads into the power plant, and right there's lots of big fish hanging out. All right, we've arrived.
That
In the
squeak is
vicinity.
scaring the fish.
Yeah, we're not sneaking up on the fish. We're getting ready to drop anchor here. The anchor has been dropped. So we've been here about a half an hour. The captain back there got a big bite where the pole suddenly went, you know, and then bing, it was over. So otherwise we've been sitting here in blessed silence. Well, not complete silence. We've been talking about the election, but I won't say what we've been talking about because Why, this is a nonpartisan fishing expedition, so there you go.
You could,
Well, we're all pulling our stuff in here, and I got stripped of my bait. The shrimp is gone. There's just a little bit of a goober still hanging on my plug there. Anyway, we're gonna move because there's no action here.
Wait a minute.
Stop the boat. It's dragging under the boat too much.
It's hooking on the float here.
What float?
The boat float.
Oh yeah, it just
Anchor. There we go.
okay.
Okay, safe.
Who knew that pulling the anchor could be that stressful? All right, Charlie, where do we go? Where are we headed? Where are we going, doggy? Don't sniff at me. So I've decided at this point in the afternoon to crawl down to the fantail here with a nice big padded bed because I feel kind of snoozy. And somebody followed me here. So I've got my new blonde dog buddy here instead of my black-haired dog buddy. But it's a dog buddy nonetheless. Not a bad deal when you're fishing. All right, the second catch of the day goes to the captain. A little dinky catfish. Watch it, doggy. You're gonna get your face chewed off by that catfish. Trying to get it back in the water without touching the lethal little spines they have on them. Because the spines contain poison, so it's like a snake bite, a venomous snake bite. Somebody thinks my bait is something he should be eligible to chew on. However, it's got a big giant hook in the middle of it, Charlie, so lay off. So we're winding our way out of this rather shallow area, slowly and carefully. And luckily, we have a map of the underwater environment. The water's 5 feet deep, although that little green thing behind our boat there, that was a reef we went over, and it got down to 2-foot depth. So we got to sneak between these two spoils islands. Luckily, he's done it before, so there's a dotted line that shows where he's been. Or so we think. Otherwise, we're going to be eating my cheese sticks overnight while we're sitting here swatting the no-see-ums and mosquitoes in the dark on the reef. All right, the captain is sneaking us into the Withlacoochee channel here. And we're creeping along at a couple of miles an hour here because there's always a shoulder on the edge of the channel. And big rocks sticking up, and you don't know where they put them 100 years ago when they dug this hole. See, there's some buoys down there, so we're about to enter into the channel. And we're safe. Well, we're back at Land's End. Now we're officially back in the Withlacoochee. We're safe. Oh. A couple more generations of evolution, and we'll have dogs walking around on 2 legs. So we didn't catch a whole lot of fish, which isn't a big problem because we caught a lot of sunshine and a lot of nice time out on the ocean. And that's what matters. Thanks for being with us. Good night, everybody.